Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of Rolf Neslund, and there's quite a lot of interesting stuff on the internet if you're doing research about this. So I've opened some tabs, but I'm not going to read them to you. I'm going to scroll down through them because I can't read them all. It talks about how him and his wife they both drank and they got into physical altercations, and it resulted in injuries and property damage, and the police had to be summoned. It also talks about that she killed him and shot him twice and told her friends and other people that she had done it while she had been drinking, and even had one friend at the house while her brother was chopping up the body parts in the shower, and her brother would come out and smile at them and go back to doing it. And then after chopping him up with an axe and something else, a fisher's knife, I believe. They burned him in burn barrels and scattered his ashes. So, and then she had a lot of the locals, it seemed like, were coming to her assistance, trying to bail her out of jail and help her and things like that, because she must have been well liked by people. So, and this talks about him as well, and talks about him being married to her, and the collision of the freight. He was a pilot in the collision of the freighter Antonio Chavez with the West Seattle Bridge, June 11, 1978, and forced into retirement because of the accident. This says he transferred his pension money to his wife, fearing he would lose it all in a lawsuit, and then she shot and killed him. And there's disputes. Some of them say she stole the money, and some of them say he was afraid he would lose it in a lawsuit, so he transferred it to her. And it makes sense to me that he might have had her transfer it because he might have been afraid of the lawsuits. But I don't have any way of knowing which way it happened. And this is a really interesting one, even though it's rather lengthy, and I had wanted to read it, but I'm constantly getting interrupted. And it has so many details that this is probably one of my favorites. I think this might be my favorites because it gives you an excellent timeline, and it goes, date by date of what happens and the evidence and everything, and them. I mean, I think it has so much information, so much excellent information, especially if you're writing a book or something about it and you need information. To me, this would be an excellent place to obtain it because they've done their research here, and I love the way they worded it. So I thought, well, this one I wanted to read, and I had tried to read it, but my phone was ringing. So I might do another video on it later and then read some of it. But for now, I want to make sure that I include all of this information because it's really good information, I think. So, and then we have this, which talks about the Spokane Street Bridge collision. So, and he was elderly at the time that it happened. So, if you're thinking, oh, well, maybe he was drinking because he did drink, you also have to remember his age and take his age into account. He'd been doing this for a lot of years, and who knows what happened. And then this has some excellent photos. And this is by Aubrey B. And it talks about this being the first case. It talks about Fred Whedon, and it talks about this being the first case where they convicted somebody, or one of the first cases, in that state where they convicted somebody of murder without having a body. And there's some interesting little links here that you can go to. And it's at calvert.com, so you might want to go check that out. And I don't like the fourth page, really. And then there's a book on Google Books, The Riddle of the Missing Sea Dog. It says it's by Terry C. King, and I'm not sure the name of the book, but this is I don't know which page I'm on. This is one of 22 of this book for Rolf Neslund. So you can scroll down and read it. There we go. It takes me a minute to figure out how to use it. But yeah, it's only 12 pages, so I figure I can scroll through that much. Because like I said, if you're doing research on this and writing a story, or writing an essay even, you want to have as much information as possible. So I thought, well, I found some good enough information I want to put in here. Especially, I don't know, I used to write a lot of essays in college, and if you're studying crime and punishment or something like that, and you're doing an essay on it, you might want to be able to see it and have more information. And then if you have to cite your sources, I don't know how many sources you would have to have. Depends on what they've said what the professor says that you need. But I thought, wow, this is so interesting. Because some of them, they have so much information, and I love the way they have it. And then if you want to get pieces from here and pieces from there, then you can have it. And it is a very interesting case. And it's interesting how so many people loved her and came to put up their homes for her bond and her bail and things to help her out when she needed it. Because I don't know any person that would do that for me. Not one person. And I think she had a lot of them that did it for her, which I was really shocked. I just couldn't believe they'd do that. I mean, how many people do you know would put up their homes for bond for you? Hopefully a lot, but I don't know anybody that would do that for me. And that appears to be the end of it. Oh, and there's a couple photos. So, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a long book, probably for other things as well. So, yeah, it says something about true stories, but I don't want to escape it. But if you look for it, you'll find it. So that just gives you that part of it. And then we have law.justia.com, and this also talks about things about the court trial as well. So I'm going to scroll down. I have errands to run, and I wasn't expecting to have any errands to run. So I thought, oh, I can do a lot of reading and make a really long video and read a lot of this. But it seems that I can't. But you can pause it and read what interests you. And that way, if you're interested in something and somebody else is interested in something else, they'll have the information here. Because sometimes you go online and you go to find the information, and sometimes it's there, and then you'll go to find it again later, and it's like it's not even there anymore because you don't have access to it, or it just seems like it seems like it just disappears. Maybe they take it down, or the web page isn't active, or you have to pay to get the information all of a sudden, or it's really hard to find, or they've changed everything, or, things happen. So I thought, well, I'll try to put some of this in here. And then we have this one. -law.vlex.com. 531 pages, but this is page 533, it says. So, I don't know. It has questions and things like that. It's interesting. All the different people she told. And this admission of the Smith & Wesson handgun. So, oh, it's so interesting. So even if I had read some of the first couple of pages, now it seems like I'm frozen. Hold on. Even if I had read some of the first couple of pages, I would have been tired of reading when I got here. Oh, and you have to request a trial to continue reading. So I'm not going to have all of this on there, just that. Because I'm not going to request a trial. Because I do too many videos and I would be having trials everywhere. So, in this one, I'm not sure what this part was about. The wording of it was just like, uh-huh. So, but I'm leaving it in here. Oh, and it has the questions too. I wonder if it's similar to the other one. Oh, it looks like it has the same pages, so I wonder if this one wants a trial as well. Maybe this has the information that was on the other page without a trial. That would be good, wouldn't it? So I'm probably going to be done with this just in time to run my errands. And you may not like this scrolling. You probably don't need it. You probably just wanted to hear what was going on. So like I said, I'll probably do another video on this later. Reading some of it. And then I'll just have two parts. Whoa, what was that? After one fight in the fall of 1979, when Neslund had locked herself in the bunkhouse, she called her niece Donna Smith and told her that if Rolf came back there, she would shoot him because she was so mad at him. When Deputy Sheriff Gregory Doss responded to a call from the Neslund residence in June 1980, the tablecloth and dishes were on the dining room floor. Rolf was disheveled and had a bright red scratch along the side of his face, and the defendant, also disheveled and with a puffy face, was in the bedroom and said that she was safe there, and if Rolf came in, she would shoot him. Wow. When the defendant's face was black and blue in July 1980, Rolf said that he had decked her, and the defendant said that Rolf would never do it again and pointed to a rifle. See, that to me, that just changes everything about her shooting him. Because if he was hitting her and abusing her, then it makes me feel like I understand more why the other people would come to her rescue. But it made it sound like, in other papers, it makes it sound like she was abusing him more. And some of them, it makes it sound like so I don't know. This one will be some interesting reading. Wow. This might be the one I read later. This is much better than the one I was going to read, I think. So, anyway, I've got to leave any minute, so I'm going to have to scroll through a little faster. Like I said, you can pause it and read it. And I'll see which one I upload. Wow, this is so long. This is really good, though. Wow. Evidence of shooting at animals? What does this have to... It has on... What? This looks so interesting. It's sad that he's not there to speak up for himself, though. Or to, because he's dead, he can't really go and tell people what happened. And that to me is a bummer. Oh, and I have one more tab open. Settlement, seattlemet.com. So, and this one isn't so long. But that way it's just one more. Oh, I love the photos. I don't like the ad, but there's not hardly any ads. So, and this gives his background, so more of his background, which I don't see at a lot of the other ones. And I like having that. So, anyway. Wow, I love the photos. This is really excellent. And there's a lot of websites. I just picked the ones that, that came up that seemed to be my favorites. And I thought, maybe you'll like them. But maybe you don't feel like reading. But if you need them, they're there. And maybe it'll help somebody. And then later I'll go through the ones I want to read. And then read them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to pray for their loved ones and families. And I'm sorry if that's a bit annoying. Have a great day. Bye-bye.